It's early spring, and these are fairly common scenes that could be playing out in any race shop in the country. Local racers are gearing up for the season and putting the final touches on their race cars as they head out to the track for the first time. And it's not unusual to see veteran late model driver Dennis Strickland in a race shop either. What is unusual is that the garage in question is home to Bailey Racing, whose driver, Nick Bailey, often finds himself competing with Strickland on a weekly basis. Bailey and Strickland have forged a unique partnership. Their cars are on the same chassis, and while the two have their own distinctive race teams, they'll be sharing info, helping each other out, and even be sharing the cost of track rental for testing in the future.
Yeah, we basically have the same identical race cars, the same chassis manufacturer, and we have parked next to each other at Flat Rock and at Toledo a couple of times, and we talk back and forth and what have you, and we just kind of came up with the idea that we could test together, try different things on each other's cars, and whatever works best, apply them to both cars, and we would benefit from that.
While drivers may swap info now and then, and there are multi-car teams at most levels of racing, it's pretty rare that two independent drivers would cooperate to this extent.
This is kind of unique because we each own our own equipment. Now there are teams out there that have multiple cars, and obviously they would share information back and forth because they have one car owner. But being that I own my car and they own their car, we're actually willingly trading information for our own benefit.
For the better part of a decade, Bailey had been living in North Carolina as he pursued his career working on other race teams. Getting back behind the wheel was a learning curve, and the veteran driver Strickland noted Bailey's progression throughout the year.
Before he went down south and worked on a nationwide team, he was a young driver, and he crashed a little bit, And what I've noticed is since he's been back in the car, since he moved back up here, I don't know if he's just age-wise has matured or what's happened, but he doesn't hardly ever crash the car, and his performance is showing it, because he's able to go from week to week and adjust on the car and improve the performance of the car instead of just trying to get the thing back on the wheels.
And it's not just Strickland giving advice to Bailey. Bailey's experience working on cars in the Nationwide Series and as a fabricator has also helped Strickland with his own race car.
Yeah, and talking about that, it's actually kind of worked both ways, like here in the shop. He has all that experience from down south when he went down and worked on the nationwide stuff that I never even seen done before, So here working in the shop, he'll be doing something, I'm like, wow, I never thought about doing it that way. That's pretty cool,
The best piece of advice that Strickland can give when it comes to racing, when you're actually on the track, is that experience is the best teacher.
And then the thing on the racetrack, as far as the experience, I can help him a little bit, but the best way to learn is to make mistakes and then realize that you made the mistake and then correct it.
With the racing season right around the corner, Bailey and Strickland are hoping that this partnership can help both of their teams. Of course, if they find themselves racing side by side, they may have to suspend that partnership. Just for a little while.